What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. Soul Effect, Rashad Ali from the R&B Talk Show. And this right here, it's going live on the StreamYard. So this interview not only will be on here on Facebook, it also be pre-recorded on Instagram. So this bud I got right here on the other side, he's been in the business for what, like 50, 55 years? Am I correct on that?
You're correct.
This brother has worked with Mary J. Blige, Michael Jackson, Genuine. I mean, the list goes on and stuff. And before we get straight to it with your book, before I let you go, I want to congratulate you on the street side that you have in Newark, New Jersey. Like, am I correct on that?
Yes, on the street that I was born and raised on.
Yeah. So when did you get the call about, they have the street side in your name?
It was the call that I got from a councilwoman, Louise Roundtree. She said, listen, I was in city council meeting, young man, and they brought your name up. I was like, oh, really? She said, yeah, we want to honor you. We want to give you a street signing dedication. And I go, what? And she said, yeah, we want to name the street that you was born on. She said, wasn't you born on Tracy Avenue in Newark? I said, I was born and raised on Tracy Avenue in Newark. Man, that was the biggest surprise of my life. And the day of the event, wow, it was so many people out there. I saw people that I grew up with, people that I went to high school with, went to grammar school with, grandmothers and grandfathers. It was one of the most incredible days of my career.
When you saw your name be a highlight on the street side, did everything come in full circle for you, especially like all the hard work, put in over the years?
I thought about my mom who used to come up that hill from working in a restaurant because she was a waitress. I saw my sisters coming from school. I saw me coming up that hill and going up in that house that we lived at, 54 Tracy Avenue. I saw so much that was in my mind. And as I went to speak that day, I made it was my attempt to make everyone feel the feelings of what my family had went through and how we stood together as a collective, how my mother taught us the importance of loving each other and being there to protect each other. That was a day in my life that I will never, ever, ever, ever forget. It was about family. That's what it was for me. It was more about family and allowing the family to see what they poured into me. Mm-hmm. What came out of what they poured into me. That's what the wonderful reward was, is that they got a chance to see all those many years of my dreaming and doing little things. And I found in those little things, they turned into big things and bigger things and greater things. But I get these accolades and I say to people, it's not about me. It's about the spirit. It's about my Father. It's about God. It's about that person that I wake up to each and every single morning when I've gone through trials and tribulations, because I never, ever rode the escalator or the elevator in my journey to do what I did. I took steps. I walked up every step of my life because I wanted to understand longevity. I wanted to understand what it was going to take to win. See, I think when you get on the elevator, it's instant. I think when you get on the escalator, it's instant. It goes up and down. But the stairs, you can't miss your floor because it's your journey. You go up them steps and you learn trials, tribulations, good, bad, and indifferent, and you're able to do what you need to do. And you're able to understand what it is that you're doing. And you're able to stay positive and fight for what you believe in. I've always, from 14 years old to now, to 68 years old, claimed victory to win. And it wasn't about winning every race, man. It was about staying in the race. I believe if you stay in the race, eventually you got to win that race.
Bingo. Absolutely. You hit it right on the nose right there.
Yeah.
So, because I know, you had a moment to yourself, and, because like you just said, like, you think about your mom, your childhood and everything else. And, it's one thing, you overjoyed, you around everybody. We had a moment to yourself, like, wow, man, I can only imagine what my mother would say about this.
Yeah. I truly did that. I envisioned and I thought for 1 second, my mom's been gone for like 15 years, but I could have sworn I saw her coming up that hill with a waitress uniform on. And that's what spoke to me. And I sat up and I started to lose my voice only because I thought I saw her. And I just know that she would be proud, not proud of me, but proud of the family, but proud of what the family poured into me and what we poured into each other, and how we're able to see the success of what she gave to us and how she taught us and how she raised us. So yeah, it was a very special day, and it's still very special for me.
Yeah, absolutely and stuff. You ever go visit, over there and stuff, and just look around and stuff, like the people
What,
there?
man, I still have some of my friends that I grew up with. Periodically, I would go over in the community, and I would say hello. There's a couple of families there that I used to go and eat. They used to ask me, Ansel, y'all got any food in your house? I said, why you asking me that? You always at my house eating up my food. So yeah, I mean, it was, man, I love the neighborhood that I grew up in because everybody was family. There's always is said that it takes a village to raise a child. And I asked today, what does it take to raise a culture? What does it take to raise a community? There has to be some consistency in our communities. It was the Honorable Elijah Muhammad that spoke about unity in our community. While white folks was telling us and impeding in our mind that this man was racist, he wasn't. He talked about what they talk about in their communities, having your own farm, getting your own eggs, having your own car factories. He talked about ownership and the importance of owning something as a community, as a culture. Unfortunately, we didn't listen in volume. Some of us did, the majority didn't. And maybe that's where we're at today.
Yes, yeah, got the truth. And that's why I want to speak to you about your current new book. Before I let you go, what inspired you to create this book, and and also drop some gems for people who really need to listen, especially we in this era, all this saying that's going on right now, you're ready to get started. So what kickstart put this book together?
I'm gonna tell you what kickstarted this book, that I've been granted to live 68 years. And I see all the turmoil in this world. I see how people are so judgmental, how they want to talk about the homeless, how they want to talk about the drug addict, how they want to talk about the HIV and AIDS victim, how they want to talk about the domestic violence person, how they want to talk about the incarcerated. We can't talk about them. God gives us all chances. And if they've gone through what they have gone through and they have committed and they stood the test of time to try to correct it, they deserve another chance as well. So the book is not about the entertainment industry. I use it as a template for the people that I've worked with to show and draw out for people that some of these same celebrities are going through what you went through. Yeah. They went through domestic violence. They went through homelessness. They went through addiction. They went through the same thing. But the test of time was that they came from it because they believed and had trust and faith that they could overcome this. And that's what we got to do. We as a people, as a community, must stop trying to judge everybody's life. We all go to church. What we go to church for? Because we all sinners. Yes, I understand we all go to praise God and to lift him the whole of the bit. But we sinners like sinners. That's why we go sit up there and we start shouting and going through what we need to go through.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it's sad, when you have a man that's, a single father that's going in and out of jail, he's trying to get a job, and people always question his background and stuff. But yet instead, you pick a person that got no background, you hire them in, not all, but some of them just be lazy, don't want to do nothing. And you got a man that's willing to work, he's showing a resume of his work history. It may not be current, but he's showing he's willing to, get on. Then he get a call or email, say, I'm sorry, we didn't hire you in.
Give me 1 second. I just want to interrupt for 1 second.
Go ahead. Got a legendary Angela Ellaby, everybody. And this interview will be posted on Facebook, on the Rashad Ali page, and the R&B Talk Show, and Instagram.
Thank you so very much, man.
Oh, no problem, man. Shoot, no sweat. And it's sad though, because whenever you have a man that's trying, to get a job, then you go to these temp agencies and stuff, and then the person gets turned down, or like they might work for like a couple months, couple weeks. They give a letter, say, I'm sorry, Mr. So-and-so, but because your record, we can't hire you in and stuff. And it's sad because it's like they had a choice but to try to, sell drugs or rob people just to,
they just hired the president of the United States of America. He's the biggest criminal of all people.
Yep.
Should not be challenged.
Yep.
They should be accepted and not judged. They should be able to have the chances in life like anyone else does. We can't sit back and be judge and jury, and that's the problem. The problem is we always want to talk about somebody. Whatever happened, whatever differences that you've had with somebody, they said those differences are so old, you need to let it go. Let it go and get involved. Try to help somebody. I have this guy that drives me around, and I remember many weeks ago, we were in New York City, and I just came out of the bank, and we were going down 48th Street and 9th Avenue, and I saw these three brothers. One was in a box, one was digging in the garbage can, and one was just sitting on the stoop. So I asked them to come over. And the strangest thing that happened is my driver, who's Spanish, said to me, Mr. Ellaby, why are you doing this? And I'm looking at him, are you retarded? Why are you asking me this? The reality of it all was, I said, how about if that was you sitting out there digging in the garbage can? Wouldn't you want somebody to help you? So I asked the brothers to come over. I gave them what I had to give. I think I gave them $10 or $15 a piece. And he said, well, all they're going to do is, that ain't my business. What they do with the money. Mm-hmm. If they go buy drugs, if they go buy liquor, whatever they go to do, it's not my business. My business was to see what was actually current, what they were going through. It could be me. It could be me sitting on that stoop, but not that, you never know. So we have to open our eyes and give people a chance. We don't know the history of why they're going through what they're going through. And neither is it our business to understand it, but it is our business to help somebody. That's what it's all about, man.
Yeah.
It's about the give back. That's what my book is about. My book is about giving back. It's about uplifting people, giving people a chance, making people not feel like they're suicidal or they're failures. They're not. It's hard knocks to life that you must endure. You must endure the hard knocks of life. And you got to really, I tell people every day, I'm romantically in love with Angela Ellaby. I love me some me. Because when I love myself, I can love somebody else. I can be better understanding of somebody else's situation. But when you have a closed mind to not want to give back, not want to uplift someone, not wanting to give somebody a chance, who are you? Demons come in disguises.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they come as your brothers and sisters, what you call as your best friend. Sometimes they come as your mother and your father. And sometimes they just come. And you cannot define who they are and what they are until you experience who they are and what they are.
Absolutely. You're right about that.
This book is about really trying to aid and assist our culture and uplifting our culture.
Yeah, it is sad because I remember this was back in like 2017, and there was a brother here in Louisville, Kentucky. He had a sign. He said, "I don't want your money." He said, "I'm looking for a job," and I think he had maybe $3,000 left in his account because the job he had it folded. I think he worked outside construction work or something like that. And it folded. And then so finally this white guy took a chance on him and gave him a job. And I think he was taking care of his granddaughter, and they were staying in a hotel. And I think she was pregnant or something like that. And it's a great turnaround. I said, man, I was like, if we can have more people like that would take the time, be like, you know what, let me push my pride to the side. Maybe something good could come out of it. Who knows?
Well, you see, the thing is that it begins at the beginning. It begins with your mother and your father, your grandmother and your grandfather. That should flow through the family of taking care of one another, of loving one another, of being protective of one another. That's where it begins at. So when you have children, you teach your child from infancy the importance of love, caring, sharing. But we're not doing that today. What we're doing is the opposite.
Yeah.
Grandmother's is 27 and the daughter is 22. Oh, should I make it more relevant? The grandmother's 30 and the child is 25. So no one's telling that story. There's no legacy. Where is that family history? Where's grandma really saying to you what it took for her to get through? We got to begin to understand the importance of our history. And our history is so unsung. Our young brothers and sisters don't know about our Black inventors. No one knew about the 68 riots in Newark. No one knows about the civil rights actions that Martin Luther King, when you see your grandmother and your grandfather and your aunts and your uncles being mowed down by water holes, dogs being turned on them. They need to see that to understand what people did for their freedom. They need to see this and understand this. I remember being in high school and Black history was not accredited, but American history was the only thing that was accredited. And so you go through these 12 years of being educated in the public school system, and you learn that Christopher Columbus discovered America. And then when you get out, you say, he didn't discover America? What? So they taught you what they wanted you to know.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a lie. And I say the truth is not on strike. You should tell the truth. I remember trying to get that Black history study. They said, well, they said, Angela, you're not going to be credited to this. I said, why would I be credited to take an African-American study class? They said, well, it's just no credits. Wow. And I said, but I get credits for American history. Think about it. And that's just the way that America has been and will always be. They're going to teach you what they want you to know. And you're going to become a follower as opposed to a leader.
Yeah, and it's sad too, because when I think about stuff like that, from elementary to middle school to high school, and I'm like, wow, it's like they want to celebrate all these, supposed to be national holidays, knowing for a fact that people like Christopher Columbus did a lot of damage, when he came here, as well as he did in his own country. So it's like, why we celebrate a killer? Why we celebrate a rapist? That doesn't make any sense at all, and it's nothing, glorified to even do that and stuff.
Well, we're celebrating the president, and how many charges he got against him?
Yep. We like 34, 35.
Yeah, we elected him. So what?
Yep. Because I call him the Orange Man. I thought to myself, like, I refuse to even say his name. And it's sad, too, because all those felonies. And I thought to myself, I said, now, had that would have been Kamala, with the same type of charges, man, they will find ways to sign a pension to ban her, impeach her, whatever and stuff, and it's crazy. People are so fearful of losing their privilege. You're not getting a 401k plan.
What you got to think about that whole election thing.
Good.
He had 4 years to run for president. She had 4 months. He had 4 years. He's been running for president since. And then you turn around and what do? He go back in the inauguration is in the building that he tore down. And then he freed people that tore the building down. Think about it.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
Right, you're right about that.
Yet we applaud it.
And it trips me out because I hate when, you got like certain celebrities, though they mention, it's like they sit here and showboat, along with that. And it's messed up. Here it is, like you got like a gang of fans, follow you and support your careers and stuff like that. And you sit around, throwing, somebody that's trying to help the community under the bus. No matter as an activist leader, no matter who it is, but yeah, instead of talking about, I'm gonna vote for him because he's gonna get everything back in business. You call this man daddy, a 30-time felony, daddy. I mean,
but what you don't understand, man, it's just like I finished telling you about the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. We will follow white people to the end of the earth. We would do that because that's the way we've been trained. We've been trained to follow them from the 60s to straight on to this day. If you look at the percentages of voters, it was the Latino and the African American communities that put them in office. So you can't tell me nothing about nothing. You want to accept what you need to accept and keep it moving. That's how I have to look at it. And that's why I find my book to be so important. I want people to understand that they have more than one chance. They have more than one chance to live their life and get their lives correct. They have more than one chance, man. Yeah. And what I love for people to begin to do is give God a chance.
Yes.
I think when they look at that realistically, because I think that's what has brought me across the waters a million times. I don't look at anything as being a failure. I look at everything as being an experience, something to grow by, something to take you through, to learn, to share with someone. See, there's a difference in being ambitious and then being ambitious. But a lot of times people are more ambitious than they are ambitious. They're all over everywhere. And they haven't concentrated on their own goals.
Yep. You're right
about that. There's got to be you. It's called self-preservation. Give God the glory and take care of yourself. And in self, you got to take care of family. And in family, you got to take care of everything around that family.
Yeah. You're right about that. You hit it right on the nails. It's like we, especially like my generation, I'm 43, and it's sad that, I see mothers and fathers that they don't teach their kids about, say loving themselves, put a confidence in any of them. It's like, it's sad. It's like if you have like a single mother and she got like 5 kids and from like different child fathers and stuff. I hate the term baby daddies. One might make it and go farther in life. 2 might be dead, 1 might be in jail. And it's sad that got somebody so in and out talking about, I don't know why my son is like this, darn like this. You know what happened. Champ. Why you too busy on social media posting selfies and chasing this guy and that guy and stuff, and you acting like you 16, but you understand your kids going through all these shenanigans.
You got to understand, and I'm going to keep going back to this. You have to begin to raise your child from infancy when they're in their stomach. And then when they're born, you have to start teaching them then. You have to, instead of giving them toys, giving them a computer. Instead of giving them just a computer, teach them their alphabets when they're 1 year old. Teach them how to read. Teach them how to write their names. That's what people who don't look like me and you do. And that's why their children come out and come into society 2 steps ahead of the game. As a culture, we got to start loving our children, educating our children, providing for our children, the who, the whats, the whens, the wheres, the whys of living in white America. And that's something that we don't do. We could talk about all these young mothers, and I can't excuse them. Because I was raised by, at one time, a very young mother that was a waitress. My father left me when I was 4 years old. My mother took on the responsibility of raising her 6 children as a waitress. I always thought my mother was a doctor because she had street smarts. She knew what she needed to do. She talked to her children. She educated her children. She provided for her children. And then she says, here's what you need to do. She gave us all survival skills. She taught us what was important, how to survive and live in white America, how important education was. She always told me, she said they can take everything in the world away from you, but they can't take what God has put up in this brain. They can't take that from you. They can take your house, they can take your car, they can take all those tangible things, but they can't take your knowledge. So we really got to stop being so accusatory as to what the white man has done. And what we need to do is what we need to do to be a collective. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, if we could come together, you know, stop all this shenanigans, you know, we could really be a dominant force and stuff. And I remember I saw the list. I know you saw it, and a lot of these, you know, shopping stores signed with the DEI or something like that. And I thought to myself, like, you know, okay, every now and then you might see a black-owned company, like, you know, you might see a sister own a gas station or a brother own their own McDonald's. I was like, why can't we, you know, take the time to really invest and create our own all black grocery store, like a, you know, so like a Walmart, like, you know.
No, they allow the Asians to come in and fry them wings and boil up that rice with fried rice and put up a glass so that you can't touch them and rob them. And they go put themselves in every community. Same thing that they do with cigarettes. The biggest poison that's killing me and killing everybody else. They put it right into the urban communities. And they give you menthol cigarettes. And now they come back and tell you that smoking will kill you. That's just written. And now, because it's affecting people of no color, it becomes very pronounced. You got to look at what's going on, man. And you got to tell your children, you got to tell people around you what the real deal is. It's not, I'm not being racist. Mm-hmm. I'm being factual. What is actually going on? And how we look at it. How we looked at it. I think we're the last people on the totem pole. I don't know how white folks look at us. I don't know all the Italians, the Jews, the blah, 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 blah. They're collectives. They're all collectives. They take care of each other. They may hate each other, but they're going to take care of each other.
Oh, yeah. At the end of the day, they're going to stick together, no matter how wrong it is, besides right.
There you go.
Yeah, you know, that's the honest God truth and stuff, you know. Okay, last time I had you on here, there was a lady that was your former client. Her name is Tracy Napoleon and Eugene Napoleon. I don't know if you remember that name.
Oh, my God. Jesus. That must have been back in the 90s, right?
In the 90s, yeah. And they told a lot of great stories about you and stuff. They worked with you during that period of time. Mm-hmm. And I said, okay, I promised I'll give her a shout out, you know, she's
a really, really talented young lady. And I know that she reached out to me many years ago, and she was producing and she was writing and she was scoring some really big songs. I really applaud her. I don't know what her stage name was. What was her stage name?
Naya.
Was it Naya? It was Naya. Yep. And Eugene, oh my God, I haven't talked to Eugene in 100 years.
Yeah, they doing real good. You know, they doing real good so far. You know, she's a basketball coach. She just now became a grandmother.
She became a grandmother?
Yeah, she became a grandmother. Yeah, and I think their grandson's like 3 years old. Yeah.
Really?
And their son, you know, he coaches. I forgot what the college name is and stuff. You know, he's doing real successful and stuff like that. I told Eugene, I said, I call your son Eugene 2.0 because that boy, that brother's so indirect.
Oh, listen, they're very nice people.
They are. Yeah.
God bless them.
And stuff. Okay, before we get off of here, what you got next?
Well, man, I'm on a book tour. We are 1,500 books away from being a New York Times bestseller. So I want all of your followers to go and order the book on Amazon before I let you go. I'm on a tour now. I leave for Atlanta. I'm in Atlanta from the 3rd of February until the 17th of February. I'm doing Clark University and a bunch of other universities. I'm excited about it because it's Black History Month.
Yeah.
And I get a chance really to expose the true nature of our history and our culture. Talk about what it is that I do and so many other people who are out here trying to reach the apex of their success. So yeah, man, I mean, and then, it's just like, and then I'm in South Carolina and I do a bunch of universities there. And I'm just very blessed, man. I'm very, very blessed. I'm very thankful. And I give nothing but the honor to God because he is truly strong in the head of my life. And I know I'm nobody's born again Christian, but I do wake up with God every morning.
Absolutely. Hey, so long as you got a faith in God, that's all that matters and stuff, I want to ask you this. I don't know if anybody approached you about doing like a biopic. And if you did a biopic about your life, who could play you?
Do you know, many years ago, 20th Century Fox brought my life story. And the story and the writer, it was about me and Mary J. Blige. And he came back and wrote some ridiculous story that I laughed for. I must have laughed for a week on this man. Me and Mary were lovers in the whole of the bed. And I called Mary up. I said, "Did you get a copy of the script?" And she said, "Angelo, I'm on the floor reading this. What is this man on?" I said, "I think he's on a Quaalude." So we never ever did it. I mean, they gave me a substantial amount of money to do this. The young lady that was my agent at that time, she chose to leave and the whole thing went down the drain. Now I have this new representative. Her name is Toya Tillman, and she is now working on my biopic, and I'm excited about it. Who would play me? There is I don't know how to speak of this person, but he's of Latino descent. I don't. He's an actor. I don't know what this man's name is.
I can't think of his name. If I ain't mistaken, I know he did Do the Right Thing, and it's got to be somebody that, man, I thought to myself that fit your style. Just hit me.
I can't think of this man's name. I can't think of this man's name. But if there was anyone to play me, it would be this person. I just can't think of his name. How involved will I be? I would be very involved. I would be very, very involved. And I know people are scared of me being involved, but it's my life. And so that I want it to be told the way I would like to see it told. I'm going to give them their creativity to do what it is that they believe they need to do. But we will work in tangent. And there'll be no stone unturned. It would be the real deal.
Yeah, because it just hit me, and I was thinking about the brother who did School Days and Do the Right Thing, and he did stuff.
Spike Lee?
No, not Spike. Yeah, it was Spike Lee, but not Spike Lee, the actor. But he played kind of like oh God, okay, I'll Do the Right Thing. When he was questioning, like, how come there weren't no black heroes on the wall and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
And he had his he used to always yell at people. And I thought about him. And I was like, yeah, it could be him. And then I thought about
ask you something. Let me ask your viewers, would they write into you and tell me who they think should play me?
You know what? I could put a collage together.
Yes, ask them. Ask all of your viewers, your followers, who do you think should play Angelo Ellerby in his biopic? That's
a good question. Yeah.
I would love to hear who they think should play me.
Yeah, because all my fans, yeah, they'll definitely be on it quick.
Let them know. I'd like to know more about it.
Yeah, because what I could do is I could steal like a screenshot, and send it, to your team, and you can run down and stuff.
Oh, absolutely, man. If you send it to me, I will send it out to my social media guy, and let's run it and let's see what they think.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Because I tell you, my brother, you definitely got an amazing story, man. Just reading your bio and then looking at stuff on YouTube, I said, man, this brother here, man, deserves all the flowers and the accolades and stuff, and that guy got a street sign because I feel like they're just the beginning of it,
Let me ask you, did you watch the Sway in the morning interview?
Yeah, I watched a highlight of it. I didn't get a chance to watch it away because I'll be.
Man, you gotta watch the whole interview because it gets very deep and very involved.
Yeah, I'm about to check it out.
Yeah, it's good. It's really, really good. There's no question that I didn't answer, and there's no question that he didn't ask. Right. So it was like 55. It was 55 minutes of great talk.
Yeah, I'm about to check it out, man. You definitely got to bring it back on here again, man, so I can adapt, to what he said and go from there, man.
Whatever you want, man. I really appreciate you and your followers, your listeners. I appreciate you guys. This is my second time doing this, and I enjoy being with you.
Man, appreciate it, man. Definitely got to run this again, man. So with that being said, you have a blessed day. And, man, looking forward to like another book, man, like a part 2.
We're working on some things. I said I would never do another book, but my agents are working on some things. I don't know what they're trying to get me to do, but we'll see what it is. It'll prevail itself shortly.
All righty. With that being said, we are out of here, man.
I thank you, buddy. Have a blessed day.
You got it.
All righty.